Hello everyone! So today continuation tayo ng ating discussion about the correlation coefficient. Okay, so dun sa ating last video, ang na-discuss lang doon is kung paano computein yung R or yung correlation coefficient. So ngayon naman, ang gagawin natin is to test the significance of the correlation. Okay? So kailangan natin i-test yung significance of the correlation para ma-determine if the relationship between the two variables really exists in the population. The existence of correlation between two variables can be ascertained by testing its significance using the t-test. Okay, so yung gagamitin lang natin in order to test the significance of the correlation is the t-test. Okay, then the formula for that is t is equal to r all over the square root of 1 minus r squared over n minus 2. Where r, that is the correlation coefficient, then yung n, that is the sample size, then si df naman, or yung degrees of freedom, so kakailanganin natin ito mamaya dun sa ating table, okay, that is n minus 2. Okay, so tandaan lang yung formula. Okay, now let's have an example. Okay, example 1, a soft drink distributor is interested to find out if the number of cases of soft drinks ordered is related to the travel time they are delivered. The following data have been obtained from the past experiences. Okay, so first, we need to compute the correlation coefficient or yung R. Then second, test the significance of the correlation coefficient at 0.05 level of significance. Okay, so nandito na yung given data. Okay, yung number of cases of soft drinks, that is our X. Then the travel time in minutes, that is the Y. Okay, so meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So meron tayong 7 samples here. Okay? Okay, so step 1, we need to compute the correlation coefficient or yung R. Okay, so ang gagamitin natin formula, ito po yun, itong nasa baba. Okay. So, para makuha natin yung mga ilalagay natin dun sa formula, kukumpletuhin natin yung nasa table. So, ano ba yung kailangan nating ilagay dun sa table? Of course, yung ating given data dun sa problem, which is the x and y. So, kailangan natin yung summation ni x, then summation ni y. So, pag sinabing summation, yung sum. So, i-add lang natin lahat ng yan. So, 24 plus 6 plus 16, 64 plus 10 plus 25 plus 35. Okay, so total of 180. Okay, then next yung summation naman ni y. So, i-add naman daw lahat ng yan. So, that is total of 147. So, pwede nyo i-recheck kung tama ba yung mga ilalagay natin ditong data. Okay, so yung third column, so ang ilalagay natin, yung idadagdag natin is yung x times y. So multiply lang natin itong x tsaka si y. So 24 times 21, that is 504. Then 6 times 3, that is 18. Then the rest, ganun din gawin, multiply lang lahat. Okay, so 16 times 6, 96. 64 times 15, 960, 10 times 21, 210, 25 times 65, 1,525. Then last, 35 times 20, that is 700. Okay, so ngayon kukunin naman natin yung summation ni x and y. Okay, so i-add nyo lang tong lahat ng to. So kapag na-add natin yan, that is total of 4,013. Okay. So, ganun lang. Okay, so next column, okay, we need to square the x or multiply natin by itself lahat ng value ni x. So, nasan ba yung x? So, nandito yan. So, squared lang natin to lahat. So, halimbawa, yung first natin is 24. So, 24 squared or 24 times 24, that is 576. Then, 6 squared or multiply by itself, 6 times 6, that is 36. Then, ganun din gawin dito. Lahat na nandito. Squared lang natin. Okay, so next dyan is 256. Next, 4,000. 96, and 100, 625, then last is 1,225. Then add lang lahat ng to. So kapag inad yan, total of 6,940. Then last naman, yung y squared, o yung y naman, yung a squared natin, or i-multiply by itself. So first, si 21. So 21 squared, 441. Then 3 squared, that is 9. Then ganun din gawin sa iba. So 6 squared, 15 squared, 21 squared, 61 squared, then last, 20 squared, that is 400. So kapag inad natin tong lahat ng to, total of 5,273. Okay, so ngayon, ang kailangan natin to compute the R or yung para malagay natin sa formula is lahat ng summation. Lahat ng na-compute natin dito. Okay? Okay. So, after natin mabuo yung table, then nakuha na natin yung mga summation. So, nilagay ko na siya dito para hindi na natin balikan yung table na kanina. Okay. So, ang gagawin natin is to substitute all the given dito sa ating formula. Then, sa formula, meron tayong n dyan. So, ang ilalagay natin sa n is 7. Kasi meron tayong 7 na sample size dun sa problem kanina. Okay, so first, substitute, then solve. Okay, so solve nyo lang yan isa-isa. Okay, o kung meron kayong scientific calculator, pwede nyo na yung gamitin para makuha nyo agad yung answer. Okay, so dito, pwede nyo i-recheck if tama ba yung mga nako-compute dito. Okay, so ang makukuha natin answer for R is 0.104243027 or R is equal to 0.104. So, ating correlation coefficient is positive 0.104. Okay. So, tapos na tayo sa first step. Okay, so second step, test the significance of R. So, follow the steps in testing a hypothesis. Okay, so gagamitin natin yung steps na ginawa natin sa pag-test ng hypothesis. Okay, so una na doon is to state the null and the alternative hypothesis. Okay, so konting review lang. So pag sinabi natin null hypothesis, meaning there is no significant relationship between the two variables. Pag sinabi naman natin alternative hypothesis or yung HA, there is a significant relationship between the two variables. So, kaya yung null hypothesis natin dyan, there is no significant relationship between the number of cases of soft drinks ordered and the travel time they are delivered. Okay, so wala daw silang relasyon yung dalawang variable na yun. So, pag sinabi naman natin alternative, there is a significant relationship between the number of cases of soft drinks ordered and the travel time they are delivered. Okay, so meron daw relasyon yung dalawang variable na yun. Okay, so pwede natin tong i-rewrite as R kay null hypothesis, R is equal to 0. Then kay alternative naman, R is not equal to 0. Equal and not equal sign lang yung laging gagamitin dito. Okay? Then second is to identify the appropriate test to be used, then yung type of test, then yung critical value. Okay? So, ito na yung gagamit tayo ng table. Okay, so yung type of test natin is two-tailed test. Laging two-tailed yan. Okay? Then, with the use of the table for the t distribution, the critical value of t at 0.05 level of significance with two-tailed test is 2.571. Okay, so paano natin malalaman yan? So, kakailanganin natin si DF or yung degrees of freedom. Si DF, that is equal to n minus 2. Yung n natin, yan yung sample size, which is 7. Di ba meron tayong 7 sample kanina? So, 7 minus 2 is 5. So, hanapin natin sa table si 5 para makuha itong 2.571. So, nandito yung table. Okay, so two-tailed test tayo. So dito tayo titingin kay two-tailed. Then hanapin sa 0.05. Okay, so yun yung ating yung level of significance. Then yung degrees of freedom, dito tayo titingin. Okay. Yung DF natin is 5. Okay. So kung saan yung kanilang intersection, yun yung kukunin nating value or critical value. So that is 2.571. So kaya yung critical value natin is positive, negative 2.571. Okay, third step, compute the test value. Okay, so use the formula for testing the significance of R. Okay, so yung formula kanina for t-test. Ito po yun. So, ito na ngayon yung gagamitin natin. Dun sa ating last step, kinuha natin doon yung critical value. So, ngayon naman, kukunin natin yung test value. Okay, so yung computed R natin, or yung correlation coefficient, kanina is 0.104. Okay, so substitute na natin. Then, yung N naman, sample size, that is 7. Okay, now compute. Okay, use your calculator. Okay. So, ang makukuha nating test value is 0.2338190006 or 0.234. So, ito ngayon yung test value natin or yung computed value. Okay, so next, make decision whether to accept or reject the null hypothesis. Okay, so yung computed value natin, tsaka yung critical value na nakuha kanina. So, yung critical value natin is positive, negative 2.571. Then, yung test value or yung computed value dun sa step 3, ang nakuha natin dun is 0.234. Okay, so, alamin na natin kung kailangan ba natin i-accept o i-reject yung null hypothesis. So, yung critical value natin, so positive, negative yan. So, assume tayo na nandito si 2.571. So, negative yan. So, yung shaded part dyan, that is the rejection region. Okay, so dito. So, assume natin na nandito yung ating critical value. Okay, so si computed value naman, or yung test value, that is 0.234. So, maglalay siya dito. So, nandito ating 0. So, nasa positive. So, ito yan. So, nandito siya. So, ibig sabihin, we need to accept the null hypothesis. Okay. Since the absolute value of the computed t-value, 0.234, is less than the absolute value of the tabular or critical value 2.571, we need to accept the null hypothesis. Okay, so ano ba yung null hypothesis? Okay, so for conclusion, since in-accept natin yung ating null hypothesis, so pag sinabing null hypothesis, there is no significant relationship, okay? So ang ating conclusion dito sa ating problem is, there is no significant relationship between the number of cases ordered and the travel time that they are delivered. So ibig sabihin, walang connection yung dalawang variable na meron tayo, yung number of soft drinks tsaka yung travel time.